The Return of a Fish Called Georgia, a Sergeant Dour mini-story. So, the Right Dishonourable Rupert St. Ledger II MP has been sentenced to 2 weeks' imprisonment for infringement of bylaws. That is to say, he watered his croquet lawn during a hosepipe ban. 2 weeks without St. Bastard, it will be bliss. I woke up this morning to find Esme not in my bed. This made my day even better. However, things took a turn for the worse when I decided to get out of bed and go downstairs. There in the kitchen was something I wished was not there. Colonel Reginald Saunders, and Miss Eliza Blenkinsop, and the cherry on the terrible top, Sir Glastonbury and Lady Anthea Persephone Fothergill Smythe. "I say, what, who is this fellow, don't you know?" asked Colonel Saunders. "I am Sergeant Dour, Colonel, and I live here. Next question." "Are you sure?" "Am I sure of what? Am I sure that I live here, or am I sure that I am Sergeant Dour?" I asked. Colonel Saunders put on his thinking face, which was the sort of expression one would expect to see on the face of a woman in labour who has just discovered she is giving birth to an elephant, and puzzled over the question. "Do you play cricket, Sergeant?" "No." "What? Does this mean you're, foreign?" "No. An Englishman that doesn't play cricket? That's like a Scotsman you can actually understand." "My mother was Scottish," I lied. Colonel Saunders jumped and hid under the table. "You poor fellow," he said, quivering. "Get out from under there, you fucking wimp!" screamed Sir Glastonbury, who had just woken up from some sort of trance. "Glastonbury, please keep your voice down," urged Lady Anthea Persephone. "Why the fuck should I?" screamed Sir Glastonbury. "Because you will wake up the entire county." "Okay," whispered Sir Glastonbury. "What are you all doing here?" I asked angrily. I was becoming very annoyed. To wake up and go in quest of breakfast, only to find your kitchen cluttered up by a colonel, a nymphomaniac geriatric, and a mad psychiatrist with Tourette's and his extraordinarily contrasting wife, is hardly the sort of thing I would wish upon anybody, let alone myself. "We are starting a pet tit," said Miss Blenkinsop. "What's that? The world's first adopt a boob campaign?" "She means petition," said Lady A.P. "What for?" I asked. "For the death of that fucking cunt Montgomery Wedgwood!" screamed Sir Glastonbury. "Glastonbury?" "Yes, Anthea!" "Volume." "Yes, Anthea," he whispered. "What has Montgomery Wedgwood done?" I asked. "He has fired Tabitha McTallulah," cried the Colonel. This was dreadful news. Tabitha McTallulah, as you may or may not be aware, is, or rather was, the personal assistant, or prostitute in a suit with a shorthand notebook, to Montgomery Wedgwood, the bastard billionaire of this parish. As you may or may not also be aware, Miss McTallulah fills my dreams with exciting eroticism, and she is what gets me through the day, and her generously proportioned knockers. "Why?" I asked. I was doing a lot of asking that day. Normally I can't be asked to ask anything, but this was serious. "He caught her," said old Mother Blenkinsop. "He likes fishing, does he then?" I said. Don't talk to me about fish," said old Mother B. "Georgia is pregnant again." "Was that a joke, Sergeant?" asked Colonel Saunders. "Yes." "I don't get it." "That doesn't surprise me." "I will explain," said Sir Glastonbury with unwonted calmness. "That twat compared Miss McTallulah to a fucking fish," screamed Sir Glastonbury, as Gordon Ramsay would scream if he found he had left his steak under the grill 20 seconds too long. "Glastonbury," said Lady Anthea Persephone. "Sorry," whispered Sir Glastonbury. He took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He looked like a particularly red-faced Buddha. "But how dare you fucking call her a fish?" "Sir Glastonbury, you have grabbed onto entirely the wrong end of a very long stick here," I said. "I do not grab onto sticks of any kind. What do you think I am, some sort of pervert?" he screamed. "It is a figure of speech, Sir Glastonbury," I said. "Not in my fucking book!" he screamed. "Glastonbury," warned Lady Anthea Persephone. "Sir Glastonbury, please calm down," said old Mother B. "You're distressing Georgia," she said, holding up her goldfish bowl. Suddenly out popped George of the Fish's eggs. "She's laid!" shouted old Mother B. She then did what I assume was a dance, but looked rather more like some sort of satanic rite. The vicar would be proud. At that moment the room descended into silence, save for some bubbling from the goldfish bowl brought about by Georgia swimming around very fast like Michael Phelps on drugs, as Tabitha McTallulah entered the room. "I am saved," she said. "Montgomery has decided to let me stay." "And how much sucking did you have to do to achieve that?" I said. "Shut up, you prick!" screamed Sir Glastonbury. "Glastonbury," warned Lady Anthea Persephone. "He caught me in a romantic moment with Jeff Gregson. I told him that I was giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." "Men are so gullible," said Tabitha.
"No, they are not," protested Colonel Saunders.
"Colonel, the Queen has said you are getting a knighthood," said Lady Anthea Persephone.
"Really?"
he exclaimed.
"No," she said, laughing.
"Now let's be off. We women shall merely make tracks, whereas you men will go on Gullible's travels." She laughed at her joke. Nobody else did. And so they all left. I sighed. It had been a strange morning. Miss McTallulah had been caught at it with our resident towny tosser. Sir Glastonbury Fothergill Smythe had actually said something quieter than Maria Sharapova, and Georgia the pregnant fish had given birth in my kitchen. And they say village life is boring.